you have an algorithm that increases the cost of the fare the second time you search for it?
No. Prices do vary. As you get closer to the flights, to the flight itself, flights become more expensive because there are fare buckets and they fill up. So the closer you get to the time of travel, then it does become more expensive. If that price has changed, that'll be because the actual fact that seat that you originally saw, which will be the lowest fare available on that day at that time, is now gone, and so that fare bucket has increased. So it's just a timing issue.
So it's not because you're spying on my phone?
No, absolutely not. No, we do not have any algorithms that do that.
Do you have an algorithm that makes the return flight more expensive?
No, I don't think there's any process or algorithm that actually creates a scenario where on a return fare there's a significant difference in those fares.
Do you oversell seats on the plane?
No, as an airline we do not oversell.
Do you fake aircraft breakdowns when the plane isn't full?
No, absolutely not. There's no point in us actually cancelling a flight simply because there's insufficient passengers on it, because we've already committed a crew and an airplane to that. And it's not like we can actually quickly deploy them. The cost of that operation is already sunk in effect. And
could ignoring the flight mode only rule really bring down an aircraft?
Well, I've been in an aeroplane that have done things that I haven't wanted to do on 3 occasions because of a Game Boy, a cell phone and a laptop.
How did a Game Boy affect your plane?
Well, I was taking off out of Melbourne one day in a 767, and we lost all VHF contact. In other words, the radios stopped working. I said we better have a look around the cabin to see if something is affecting it. Sure enough, there's a passenger actually using a Game Boy down there, and as soon as that was switched off, all 3 radios returned to normal.
Are the oxygen masks just there to make you high and have an enjoyable death?
No, you put them on and then you've got a high concentration of oxygen going into your lungs, and that way you don't become hypoxic.
Is the Mile High Club an actual thing, and how often are people caught trying to join it?
Well, let me tell you this, I've been with the airline 40 years now, and I have not had a flight attendant come up to me and say something's going on the aeroplane that shouldn't be. Aircraft are not a particularly pleasant place to be for that sort of activity, I would have thought, and certainly it's not a place of great discretion, I would also considered. So as far as I'm concerned, and from my own experience, it seems to be a stuff of legends.
This is a good one.
Go for it.
Can you get stuck or suctioned onto the toilet if you press the flush button while you're still sitting down?
No, and the reason for that is the design of the toilet and the toilet seat is such that it's to prevent that. There is an air gap between the rim of the toilet and the seat, so the chances of that happening are exceedingly low, and is actually considered in the design of the seat.
What if you're super chunky?
Yeah, well, there's still that risk, but I mean, the reality is the risk is extremely low.